Hello everybody and welcome back to another C++ programming exercise video, and in today's video we are going to be doing C++ programming exercise number 17. Now C++ programming exercise number 17 says, a company hired 10 temporary workers who are paid hourly, and you are given a data file that contains the last name of the employees, the number of hours each employee worked in a week, the hourly pay rate of each employee, and the number of hours each employee worked in a week. You are asked to write a program that computes each employee's weekly pay and the average salary of all the workers. The program then outputs the weekly pay of each employee, the average weekly pay, and the names of all the employees whose pay is greater than or equal to the average pay. If the number of hours worked in a week is more than 40, then the pay rate for the hours over 40 is 1.5 times the regular hourly rate. Use two parallel arrays, a one-dimensional array to store the names of all the employees, and a two-dimensional array of 10 rows and 3 columns to store the number of hours worked, the hourly pay rate, and the weekly pay. Your program must contain at least the following functions: a function to read data from the file into arrays, a function to determine the weekly pay, a function to output the names of all employees whose pay is greater than or equal to the average weekly pay, and a function to output each employee's data. Now you can see that the functions that were mentioned in the last part are actually already written down here. So the first thing you need to do is, in order to get the data from the file, you have to declare an input file stream variable, declare one of the parallel arrays mentioned and the other parallel array mentioned. This one will store all of the employee data, and this one right here will store the names of the employees. The calculate salary does just what it says it does. It calculates the weekly salary. The it also calculates the salary when you give it the needed array. Oh, let me just remove that. That's a little typo. And then you have print employee data, which when you give it the name and the employee and the employee data, it prints it out, and then it calculates the average salary of all of the workers, and it prints which employee's salary is greater than average. And all of these are all variables that are pretty self-explanatory. In fact, the string n and the double emp are pretty much the only ones used, except for this in-file variable. And we also declared these named constants because these are going to be the rows and columns of our employee data two-dimensional function. And you also need to declare these header files up at the top. After you do that, we can move on to the main function. So the first thing you want to do is declare string names. It's going to have rows. That's how many that's how many spaces it's going to have. And then you're going to declare double emp data rows columns. After doing that, then you must move on to input file stream, and then write in file, and after that you can write in file dot open and then you can just type in the name of whatever the name of the file is that you're using. My name is this name right there, so I'm just going to copy and paste it right into my program code. You can open up the file folder if you need to, and then just click on rename, and then you can paste it with a string behind it and in front of it, and then it will be valid. And then after that, we can write in the classic if in file. If we are not able to open in file, then we just write in cout cannot open in file. Cannot open input file. Program terminates. And down. And then after that, you return 1. And that 1 is going to be the file that we took in as input. And after that, we can write in cout fixed show point set precision to 2. Get data. And after that, you can execute all of the functions that we need to execute. Get data in file, comma, names, comma, emp data. And then you write in calculate average salary, or no, just calculate salary. Emp data. Print emp data. Names, comma, emp data. And then print emp salary greater than average. And then you write in names, comma, emp data. After that, that is the end of all of the main function. Now we can move on to the function page. And a very fast way to do this is just copy and paste this entire block of code. Paste it. Delete all of these semicolons. And then add all of these curly brackets. Okay, so now we get to start from the get data. First thing we need to do is we need to write in for int I is equal to 0, I is less than rows, I plus plus. And then after doing that, you can move on and you can write in these parentheses and you write in file n I, and this right here will actually be what this line of code does. Oh wait, actually let me remove this one. Sorry, that was there. What this line of code does is it actually takes in the names of the employees, and then this line of code right here, this for loop, right there stores the other values, stores like the number values inside of our it stores the number values inside of our two-dimensional array. And then we can write an in file, emp I j. Okay, that is the end of our void get data function as well. Fairly simple. We just take in as input. Let me just add a semicolon. See if there's any other. Nope. All we need to do is take in as input all of the input that is inside of our file, inside of our .txt file. Now we can calculate the salary, which is also not very complicated. After that, so right after you write in 4, you write int I, which is equal to 0. I is less than rows. I plus plus. And now if employee data, if the EMP, if the hours that they worked, and now that is going to be I, that's going to be stored in I0. If the hours that they worked is less than 40, then we can just, then their weekly salary will just be their hourly rate times the hours that they worked. But since for most of the full-time employees this is not the case, then we're going to have to write an else. And the book's problem also states that if it is over 40, then the first 40 hours are just calculated as normal. You multiply 40 times EMP, 40 times, EMP I1. So you just multiply 40 times the hourly rate. And then you need to add that to EMP I0 minus 40 times EMP I1. So basically all of the hours after 40 hours worked, after the 40 hours worked, the hourly rate is multiplied by 1.5. So the hours that you work after the 40-hour threshold is worth more than the hours that you worked before. Okay? Okay, so now you can, now that is actually the end of the calculate salary. It's not very complicated. So now we can get to the print EMP data. So first we need a cout left set W a name right set W 10 hours worked set W make sure that you remove those extra parentheses. Set W10 pay rate. Now after we do that, we come here and we do set W 10 salary endo, and now after that you can enter, and now we have to write this for loop for int I, which is equal to 0, I is less than rows, I plus plus. We can write in C out, left. Now this is just for the positioning. Set W 8 N I, and then we C out right. And now we have to write in the for loop right here for int j, which is equal to 0, j is less than columns, and then j plus plus, we see out, set W 10 EMP I J, and then after that we see out endo. And then right out here outside of the for loop we see out endo. And now that is the end of our print EMP data. So after we're done with this function, we can now move on to the calculate average salary. Now I hope you all understood what was going on here. It's pretty simple. All we did is we set up the labels at the top, and then here we actually printed out all of the values. We didn't have to do anything complicated. We just printed out everything in each individual row. So it was pretty simple in my opinion. Okay, let's go to calculate average salary. Now this one is really easy. All you need to do is do double sum is equal to 0.0. You guys probably already know how to do this, but because it's pretty simple, all you need to do is do this. I is equal to 0. Add one of these conditional loops. I is less than rows. I plus plus. And inside right here, all you need to do is make sum equal to sum plus EMP I 2. Oh, this is actually supposed to be I, by the way. And that's it. Since whatever is inside of has this in there, as long as when it has 2, that is the average weekly salary. That's what we want to calculate. Anyways, now at the end we return sum divided by rows. Okay, now we are down to the last function. The next thing that we need to do is we need to come down here and write in double average salary Okay, so now after you've written down double average salary, you can then write in average salary is equal to calculate average salary EMP. And then we can see out average salary and then after that you write in average salary endo. Oh, two endos actually. And now after that you can write in C out employee whose salaries are greater than or equal to the average salary and down you write in 4 int I is equal to 0, I is less than rows, I plus plus, and now if EMP I 2 is greater than or equal to average salary, we see out N I with a space. And then we see out endo. So basically what this control structure right here is, it cycles through all of the employees' data. And if their salaries are equal to or greater than the average salary, then we print out their names. Okay, so there we have it. Now we should be able to run this program. Nice and neat, and it is running very well. See that? We have name. So you can see that it shows the hours that each employee worked. It shows their name. It shows their pay rate, and also shows their salary by month. I mean, not by month, sorry, by week. It also shows the average salary of all employees, and it also shows the employees whose salary is greater than or equal to the average salary. We check out Aniston, which is right here. Their salary is greater than the average salary. Gupta, which their salary is greater than the average salary. We have Kennedy, whose salary is greater than the average salary. Bronson, whose salary is greater than the average salary. And Sunny, whose salary is also greater than the average salary. And we have Smith, who isn't on that list because their salary is actually less than the average salary. So I guess you can have it there. I hope you all had fun doing the C++ program exercise with me, and I hope you continue to have fun doing C++ like this. I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.